Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with CJ Hunt, a.k.a. Silly C, and sweet as candy, Coach Brandy.
What's up?
What's going on? I don't know if that nickname's going to fit anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've been crushing everybody there. I don't know. You're still sweet, but you just, making everybody suffer. So
that's right.
They might come up with some different nicknames for you.
They probably do.
Some we can say and some we can't.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to know.
All right, guys. So we're back. Let's do client of the week. Client of the week. Marcia Beat is our client of the week. What to say about Marcia? She's just she just has one of the best personalities of anybody on planet Earth. She's just so cool. She's fun, and I always give her, I just have like really sarcastic comments that I make to her, and I do it because she gives me this just one look.
Yes.
And I do it just to get that look out of her, and it's like kind of like a blank stare, but she also like, it's kind of has a little grin to it too. It's hard to describe,
it's
but
like grandma gaze.
Yeah, she has a good sense of humor.
Grandma gaze. I don't know. Okay,
she's gonna love that.
Yeah, she's gonna love that. But she's awesome. She works really hard, and she's just like one of those people that just is like, when you're in their presence, there's good energy. It wears off on you. It projects onto you, and it makes your day better. So that's really cool because everybody should be like that, right? So anyway, Marcia Beat, we love you.
She's
great,
awesome.
Great job. Keep it up.
Doing great work.
Good job, Marcia.
Yeah.
She keeps pushing her weights too. I don't know if you've seen her out on the training floor. She's lifting heavy.
Getting strong.
Yeah. And
that's what happens when you're here every day.
And she's somebody that does a 5 a.m. a lot of the times, and then will also train in the afternoons. So I think that's something that's cool because not everybody is capable of changing their time up. And sometimes it's like, well, if I can't get in at my regular time, I'm not going to work out that day. And that's not her. She just adapts. So
yep, she finds a way.
Yeah, she finds a way. That's what we like to see. So, all right, let's talk about our topic this week. So it's one of those things where I was just in the car and I was on my way here and I was listening to a book on audio book and it's something that we just know all the time, but you need a reminder sometimes of it. And it was changing I have to do this to I get to do this. And we fall into that. It's like, if you think about when you first get a job, maybe, and you're like so excited to go to work for the first time, and then not long after that, a lot of the times you can think to yourself, I got to get up, I got to go to work. Like first thought, first thing of the day, and that's how we're starting our day off. And so it's a really powerful practice to have that attitude of I get to instead of I have to. And especially when it comes to working out, right? I think to all aspects of life, but especially when it comes to working out, because one of my favorite quotes is that a member told me is, someone with good health has many dreams. Someone with poor health has one. And so a lot of times, somebody comes in and it's a struggle for them to get going with a workout program. But if we change our thought process on that and like, hey, I get to do this. It's not, yes, it's something that you need to do. You should do it. But if you just have the mindset of, hey, I get to go to the gym, I get to work out, I get to use my body, because there are people that don't. Right. So I want to talk about the Goldilocks rule, but I want to get your guys' comments and thoughts on this first. So pop in here.
Yeah, I think, what you're saying, mindset is so important around anything that's challenging, and especially going in and working out. Having a positive mindset will only help you achieve your goal. On the days when it's easy, you can get up and come in and it's easy to work out. But on the days when it's hard or you're not feeling into it that day, just having a strong mindset will really help you get after it and go in and put in the hard work and feel good about it. You were talking about health, and I think someone who really embodies this, I get to versus I have to, is a pro CrossFit athlete named Logan Aldridge, who at the age of 13 was in a horrific wakeboarding accident, and he lost his arm from his shoulder down. And from that very day when he was in the hospital and the doctors were basically telling him he wasn't going to get his arm back, his mom instilled this positive mindset with him from the very beginning and said, it's only an arm. You've got your health, you have the rest of your body. And he was a young athlete who participated in many sports, and sport was really important to him. So he embodied the mindset, mental toughness. I get to work out. And now he's this pro CrossFit athlete who is, he's won many awards and holds records in Olympic lifting. And now he's an adaptive athlete, and now he's changed the CrossFit world for adaptive athletes. And he says his accident and losing his arm was the best thing that ever happened to him because he was able to channel that mindset.
Yeah, because he could have just been dead, right?
Right.
And instead, it's all he lost was an arm, which compared, that sucks, but compared to losing your life,
right?
That's a much better alternative, right?
Yeah.
CJ, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, since we're all talking and touching on mindset, I like to think first, your intentions are going to help to frame your results. So that's where you want to have your mindset. If you go into something more positive, you're going to have a more positive outcome. If you come into it negative,
I like it.
You're going to be negative right off the back, and you're going to find all the bad stuff that you've done in the workout or anywhere else. So along with that, I play baseball. So I like to think of mindset when you're working out, kind of like mindset when you're going into a different baseball approach. Every at bat, it can be different. You can have a goal that's totally different from one at bat to the next. So just an example, if you've got runners on base, there's a runner on third and you're trying to get them to score, you could go up there trying to hit a sac fly as opposed to going up there when nobody's on. Your goal is to get on base. So it's a different way that you're going into that at bat, and it can be a different way that you're going into each workout, whether it's an upper body day, whether it's a lower body day, or if you're not feeling it or you're feeling good. Those are all different ways that you're going to be coming into a workout, and your mindset can help you to change the way or the ability that you have to work out. So that's kind of how I think. When you're not feeling good, you almost got to tell yourself that you're feeling good. When you are feeling good, well, you don't got a whole lot to worry about. Come in and crush it. But on those days where you're not at your top, it can be different, and your mindset sets exactly where you're going to with the positives and the negatives.
Yeah, so it's all pre-framing. You're framing what it is you're gonna get out of whatever the task is at hand, right? So I want to talk about the Goldilocks rule and kind of why people go from I get to attitude to an I have to attitude, right? And so psychologically, we're programmed to perform our best when we're at the perfect level of difficulty where it's still an achievable task, but we're being challenged, versus this is too easy and just habitual for me, and I can do it without any type of thought process whatsoever. And so it's like doing a bench press, right? If I have a weight that's too light for me, I'm just repping it out, and I'm not struggling, and I'm not really accomplishing anything by doing that set. If I have a weight that's too heavy for me, it's too heavy and I can't do the exercise, so I'm not going to get anything out of it. But if I have the appropriate load on there, then I'm getting all of these benefits from the exercise. And the human mind, in order to be engaged, needs that, like, okay, this is a little bit challenging for me, but it's obtainable, right? And so it's the Goldilocks rule. It's just right? It's not too hard. It's not too soft. And when people come in and they start a program, the first couple of weeks they're initially maybe a little concerned, like, can I stick with this? And then they get going and they get into a routine and they start to realize, I can't stick with this, right? And it becomes a part of their routine and their day-to-day so quickly that usually by week 3 or 4, now it's not as big of a struggle. And that's when we'll see a little bit of a fall off and we have to do a course correction, right? Like they'll hit, 100% of their workouts in week 1 and, 100% in week 2. And then week 3, it's like 70%, right? Or they're tracking their food or their meals or whatever the metric is. But we'll see that start to fall off. And it's because they basically have told themselves, I got this. And then it's starting to form a habit and they're not thinking about it. It's not as challenging for them. So then it kind of gets pushed to the background. And then that's when disaster strikes and they like fall off a little bit. Right. And so you always, if you want to have the mindset of I get to, we always need something that's challenging us, because otherwise we're going to look at it as like just a part of our day to day, like I have to do this. Right. And so one way, so CJ, I love what you said, like the comparison of baseball, like what I'm trying to accomplish might be different, but you walking up to the plate, like you're thinking about, okay, what is the task that I am tasked with right now? Like, what do I need to accomplish? And that's a different mindset than like, I'm just going to walk up to the plate. Right. Going to the gym is different if I've done it 1,000 times before. And it's like, okay, I have to go work out today, versus like, oh man, I'm going to go in today and I'm going to try to hit my max on this specific lift. Yeah. Right. Like automatically I'm not thinking about it as like, oh, I got to do this today. I'm excited for it. It's why people get excited for, like a new job. Like I mentioned that at the beginning. What changed in 3 months, 6 months of like your first week at work and you're waking up early and you're excited and you're like kind of nervous? It's because like you're not confident in your ability to completely do it and impress your bosses. So that there's that Goldilocks point. It's like, okay, there's a little bit of challenge here, but it's obtainable. And when we get into that just being like routine, that's when our mind shifts and we think of it in terms of I have to. Right. So Brandy, you talked about mindset. Yeah. Right. And like the positive mindset, but what practices can somebody use to actually like implement that in their life? So say I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do this workout today. Yeah. Like what would be the steps that I need to follow to shift my immediate thoughts and get me pumped for the day?
Yeah, I think again, it's reframing and it is mindset. I think a couple of things that you can do. So 5-second rule is what came to mind when you said that. So I know a lot of people that are, follow this mental toughness mindset. They follow the 5-second rule. So you get up, you count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take action, do something. So if you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm going to hit snooze on the alarm. I'm supposed to go work out today, but I don't really feel like it. Count down from 5, get up, don't hit, snooze on your alarm. Just get up and do it and move and you'll feel better. I think another tip is a lot of times they'll plan their day and they'll schedule workout. They'll put workout on your calendar. Instead of just putting workout on your calendar, put I get to work out on your calendar. And so that's just kind of working on that reframing from even just a calendar perspective, write a note to yourself if you're struggling with it. Write it on your mirror. I get to, work out. I get to go to the gym. I get to be a better version of myself by, going to Pulse today and, going through my training program. Thinking about those goals and how to reframe those challenges into opportunities. So those are a few things that come to mind.
Yeah. And I think we always talk about going back to your why, but it's like, not just I get to work out today, but I get to improve the way I look. Yeah. I get to make myself stronger today. I get to be instead of like I have to go to work, I get to be a better leader today. I get to mentor somebody today. Like you got to find the nuggets, and you got to focus on the things. And so I think a daily reflection is really important of, gratitude's a big one. Like, what am I grateful for? Because when you get in that mindset, then automatically it's like, no, I'm not. It's not I have to go to work. I'm grateful that I have a good job, right? And you can find the good things about it, right? You might hate aspects of your job. Everybody has something that they dislike about their job, but there's going to be something good there too. Right. And if you focus on that, then it's I get to, right? And if you have an attitude of gratitude, then automatically like your mind shifts to focus, like CJ said, focusing on the positive and not focusing on the negative. A positive attitude leads to a positive outcome. Yep. Right? CJ. Well, when you wake up in the morning at 3 a.m. after watching the Suns game late at night. Last night. Mm-hmm. And your alarm goes off and you're like, oh man, I have to go to work today. How do you get yourself in the right positive mindset?
Well, there's a couple things that I do. It kind of goes back to exactly the reason why you're doing it. So, I mean, I've got my son's 3, and he is one of the reasons why I do a lot of the stuff that I do. So that's one thing that I go to is, all right, I roll over. I'm not really feeling it. I look at him. I'm like, all right, that's why I'm going. And give him a kiss on the forehead, and then I get up and go throughout my day. Him, and also my lady Kristen as well. She's along with those kisses in the morning. So the reasons why you're doing this: who are you here to help? What are you doing this for? Are you doing it for other people? Are you doing it for yourself? And then it can get you going. I think it also helps. It helped me from one of the former gyms that I worked at where I did mornings, and I hated mornings. Now I'm on mornings here, and I actually enjoy the mornings. It's nice to have the rest of the day to have the ability to do kind of whatever I want, and it's just about switching that mindset. I always used to think before at the other place was, dang, I got to be up early, and my day is going to go longer and longer and longer, but that's not really the case. After you get through with work, then you have the ability to do whatever you want, and it's the same exact idea. It's just a different way that you look at it. Nothing changes except how you see it, and that's the biggest thing. If you can change how you see or perceive something, it's going to make those ripple effects and make those changes for you.
Yeah, and that's So, Brandy, you said like, right, I get to, right? And then CJ, you're talking about like the loved ones in your life, right? And that's like a daily habit that's built in, that triggers you to get into the right mindset. And so I don't think that it's realistic for somebody to wake up and then just like start their day and have the attitude of, I get to do this, right? We all need, and it's not necessarily like, you don't have to listen to motivating music. You don't have to watch some like inspirational video or movie or anything like that. We just need something that's a trigger to start our day that gets us in the right mindset, so that we can go take on the day and we can have that positive attitude that's going to lead to positive action, that's going to lead to a positive outcome. And so for you, the trigger is like, I wake up, I look at my son, I kiss my lady, and then like, bam, I know, okay, that's the reason why I'm doing this. And when you have, that's a mission, right? And when you have something that you're working on that's a mission that means something to you, then you're going to have a much more positive positive attitude towards it. Writing like I get to, that's a really powerful thing. For me, like I start every day with meditation, right? And I start my day with meditation. I end my day with gratitude. So when I go to bed, I want to think about, okay, here's 3 things that I'm really grateful for that I have in my life. So that's like how I'm shutting off for the night. That's how I'm saying like, okay, cool. I did what I was supposed to do today. And then in the morning when I wake up, I'm basically getting my head in the right space of like, okay, here's what I need to accomplish today. And then, that might just be like 3 things that I need to accomplish for the day. But as I kind of set my agenda, then I have a mission. And I think that's the most important thing is like, if you're just going through it without thinking about something bigger than just the day, then you will have a negative attitude about it.
Yeah.
So, what else? You guys got any other words of advice?
I think that especially on the hard days, that's when it's really important to have this mindset. And you mentioned triggers. So if it's feeling challenging for you today, then to trigger, that's when you really need to channel this positive mindset and this get to attitude. And I think it'll help you get through it. And then reflect even after your workout. How did you feel after your workout versus how you felt before you came in? I know some people will come in and they said, I was really dragging today. I didn't want to come in today, but they leave with a completely different mindset and no one regrets a great workout. And Ever. No, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way to change your mindset. And, if work is tough or if things are stressful in your life, coming in and having a great workout can help bring positive mindset to other aspects of your life as well.
Coming in and having a mediocre workout is enough.
Yes.
It's enough. Like the days, and that kind of goes back to the habit forming thing. Like, is that just, you've done 1,000 workouts before and it's just a kind of part of your day to day. But the afterward practice of saying like, okay, let me take 5 seconds here and just reflect on how I feel after the workout. Oh yeah, I do feel less stressed. Oh, I do have more energy. Like my mind is sharper, like whatever it is, right? But just a little practice there. And yeah, that'll change your, you may have been like, oh, I have to work out. But then afterward, the next time that pops up, you're probably going to be like, no, I get to do this because I know like I'm going to feel better afterward.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And speaking on those tough days, you got to also know that tough is kind of a variable word. Tough for you on Monday may not be tough for you on Thursday, even if you're doing the same exercise. If you're a little more tired, you may not get as heavy, but if it was still tough for you, you got to the desired result. And you got to change the mindset of how you think about how you finish a workout or how you finish an exercise too. It's not just how you go into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. I'm sure lots of wise people have said that before. So, all right, guys. I think that's it for us this week. So we'll be back with you guys next week with more great stuff. Thanks for listening.
Don't be a habitual line stepper. Set your mind to work out better.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.